This week we've got big news on Hytale's comeback, some exciting new game announcements, and even a co-op JRPG in VR. And that's just the beginning. Let's get into it. Lately, we have talked about cancelled projects and laid off devs way more often than we'd like. The same looked to be true for Hytale earlier this year. But this one turns out to be one of the coolest gaming comebacks of this year. Because after Riot cancelled the project in June, it not only affected most creatives working at the studio. To fans, it also looked like a decade-long dream of playing this sandbox RPG was finally dead. But then came November 17th, when Simon, the original founder of Hypixel Studios, finally tweeted that he had bought back all rights to Hytale from Riot and immediately reunited over 30 of the original developers. They immediately get back to work, and within a few days, Simon showcased 16 minutes of raw gameplay. And if you're familiar with the rollercoaster of development for Hytale, you might be thinking, great, but now we have to wait even more years until they are finished. Well, actually no. The early access launch is imminent and the game will cost $19.99, with other, more expensive supporter packages available. The release date will follow soon, and it will be pretty soon. Simon also clarified that we shouldn't expect a polished AAA release, but some rough edges and jank. But after such a long time of development, that might actually be a good thing. Many gamers skip on early access games altogether, which often is a good and wise thing to do, honestly. But getting Hytale out quickly to the players now, even if it's not 100% perfect, sounds like the better choice in this case. And not all early access games are a letdown after all. Also, great news for anyone who loves modding in those Minecraft type of games. The team said they are building Hytale with modding at its core, allowing creators to work with everything that the game designers use themselves. Blocks, items, NPCs, UIs, systems, and behaviors. And if you're a programming nerd and love modding, just like Nox, you might be surprised to hear about their approach to modding. Because mods will sit at the center of the game, aiming to keep it fun for a long time through user-generated content. Their idea is to keep the client stable, while shifting most of the modding to the server side. But instead of text-based scripting, they plan to offer visual scripting, similar to Unreal Engine's Blueprint system, making it far more approachable for people who don't write code every day. They will provide their own tools, especially for asset creation, but also allow players to add data and even code directly by using Java-coded plugins on the server. And while the concept of accessible modding with the option to add your own code sounds compelling, we can't help but be a little concerned about the security aspects, especially if these servers are public. We don't always want to be those guys, but the list of ways to abuse such a system is practically endless, ranging from injections to privilege escalation and remote code execution. And that risk applies not only to servers run by inexperienced hosts, but also to clients downloading assets and data from them. To prevent this, the developers would need a very solid mitigation mechanism, one that they are frankly too small to provide. So maybe it would be wiser to tune the modding capabilities down a bit and focus on the core game first. But if all of this sounds a little like evil rocket science, or you didn't quite catch everything, like me, just follow Nox's TLDR. Stick to servers run by people you actually trust, unless you like to live dangerously. Friend or foe? Usually this question is easy. Well, mostly, depending on who you are playing with. And while it's pretty easy to avoid cars in Fallout 76, when Nox is off living his best life blowing up vehicles, it becomes a whole lot harder to do the same in the Mound, Omen of Cthulhu. For starters, there are no cars. But also, is this really Nox? Because in this game, hallucinations play a central role. But let's start at the beginning. The Mound, Omen of Cthulhu is a new first-person co-op survival game that sends you and up to 3 friends onto a cursed jungle island. You start each run aboard a galleon that serves as your base for your expeditions into the wilderness. Once you set foot on the island, the tone and surrounding quickly change from pirate adventure to "why did I come here in the first place?" The further you push, the stranger the environments become, eventually leading into underground spaces where the island's legends turn uncomfortably real. Hallucinations start to appear. Shadows move where nothing stands. Familiar faces twist into something else. Or, even worse, in reverse. Sorry, Becky. Your arsenal consists of theme-typical swords, muskets, or lanterns that can be changed before each run. Although preparation will only help you little, as the routes and environments are procedurally generated to keep expeditions unpredictable. So you will have to rely on good team communication, not just to fight off the island's unpleasant inhabitants, but also to tell right from wrong when perception starts slipping. And while it would be the perfect game to dive into during these dark months, the Mound isn't set to release until summer 2026 for PC and consoles. It's 1666 again, the Great Plague just ended. You obviously survived, but also find yourself washed ashore on a place the Royal Navy erased from every map. We are not sure if this counts as luck or misfortune, but here we are. The place is Brightfall Island, a Celtic land covered in fog and old curses. According to local legends, every historic plague began here, and the moment you set foot on its soil, you quickly realize there is definitely more to those tales than you ever bargained for. Just your luck. Shadows linger a little too long, and the darkness behaves less like an absence of light and more like something that studies you back. Your only safety is a campfire and a torch with light that barely stretches a few meters ahead. But light isn't just illumination here. It is a tool to restore the tainted environment to what it once was before corruption took hold, even if it's just for a short while. A concept that reminded us of Lords of the Fallen, just with more charming visuals. Well, until we saw the enemies at least. These enemies creep everywhere and can even take over your allies. But this time, the question, friend or foe, has a very clear answer. Your friends must then drag you back into the firelight before you're lost. But a single death isn't the end, as fallen teammates resurrect, at a cost of course. Each expedition lets you push deeper into hostile biomes, as unlocked sanctuaries persist over runs, while the island completely reshapes itself after your entire group falls. You and up to 3 other players share one single flame, while you explore, gather, and craft your way through the madness, all while making sure no one wanders off long enough to be swallowed by the dark. Brightfall will launch on PC in 2026, with consoles to follow. I think we have never before featured a VR-only game here, mainly because we don't own a VR headset ourselves. Yet. But Knights of Fiona looks so unique, we instantly knew we had to talk about this one. This is not only a narrative first-person JRPG adventure that lets you wander the game world all by yourself, but instead has online co-op for up to 3 players in total. You can play through the entire main questline together, in which, you might have guessed it, team up with Princess Fiona as her knights. There are different weapons to choose from. But come on, nothing beats becoming a living room wizard that throws spells in VR. During the fights, and especially the bigger boss battles, you can even coordinate attacks with your friends. You can also freely explore the game world, take on quests, or chat with NPCs. It's actually pretty impressive how immersive Knights of Fiona looks, thanks to the first-person perspective, and we'd love to try this game out to see how the VR aspect feels. It's coming sometime next year to MetaQuest and Steam VR. The new Wildgate Emergence update brings treasure hunting, but in space. Serious Sea of Thieves energy here. But instead of muskets, the update adds a new laser weapon. There's a new playable support prospector, a new duo-friendly ship, and custom lobbies. And for all the PvP fans out there, 3v3 spaceship battles have also been added. Anno 117 launched and, frankly, didn't live up to all expectations. From AI assets to a chopped-off campaign, complaints spread quickly. The latest patch has now addressed one of the most troublesome issues: multiplayer desync. But while some players report it's finally been fixed, others say it's somehow gotten even worse. If you are currently playing, what is your experience? Wuthering Waves has a new resonator, Lupa the Gladiator. Wait, isn't this old news? Oh, it's Overwatch 2. Okay. Forges her own path of brutal dominance, whispers of her past, fuel her rise. Well, that's Augusta. They got the name wrong. But jokes aside, La Lupa is the 45th hero joining the roster in Overwatch 2. She's the game's first fully melee-focused DPS, with a very high-risk, high-reward playstyle, and will be added to the game with Season 20 launching on December 9th. If you already own Vermintide 2, you are in luck. The developers just dropped the free Return to the Reich update to celebrate the franchise's 10-year anniversary. It includes a reimagined take on one of the most beloved missions from the original game, River Reich. With all the excitement surrounding it, we are happy to see the update has already been met with very positive feedback. And if you don't own the game yet, we got a little surprise at the end, so stay tuned. Lightyear Frontier is a chill co-op farming game where you pilot a mech on an alien planet, grow unusual crops, explore colorful biomes, and build up your own cozy base. The game just got the new Country Roads update, which makes running your farm a lot smoother. Your mech can now carry big objects, you can lay down roads and pull trailers for easier hauling, and new machines help automate resource gathering and processing. It's a big quality of life boost that makes expanding your homestead feel faster and more fun. The game also has a big Steam discount right now, so if you're interested, be sure to check it out. Forever Skies is rolling out their next major free content update in 3 phases, running through to spring 2026. It will introduce 3 large new biomes: the Silent City, the Overgrown Ruins, and the New Nature, along with a major overhaul of early game exploration, redesigned locations, updated cutscenes and narration, and new enemies. We played it back in January when co-op was added, and while it was fun, the game still felt a bit rough on the technical side. If the developers also improve stability, this update could be a very welcome upgrade from the base game. If you have been following us closely and always watch our videos to the end, chances are high that you grabbed Lord of the Rings Return to Moria when it was free. If not, now is your time to subscribe, leave a like, and never miss a free co-op game ever again. But let's return to Moria. See what I did there? Which just got its first major story DLC alongside its 6th free content update. The update, titled Durin's Folk, tasks you as Moria's new lord with repopulating the kingdom by rallying Durin's Folk to breathe life back into those empty halls. This adds over 20 hours of fresh content, including an expanded endgame narrative, new quests, secrets, and your first ventures outside Moria into misty mountain passes and mountainsides. After the first reception of Vindictus Defying Fate was mostly negative, with players criticizing the poor performance, wooden combat, stiff NPCs, repetitive assets, and over-sexualized characters, the devs went back to the drawing board, promising improvements. But now, after months of waiting, we finally get an update in the form of a new map. And by the looks of the busty churchgoers, stiff townsfolk, and familiar assets, it seems we still have a long way to go. But at least we got an evil maid outfit, I guess. This weekend is packed with games you can try for free on Steam and grab at a big discount if you end up loving them. Starting with For the King 2. a turn-based roguelite tabletop RPG with co-op for up to 4 players. It offers a procedurally generated world with dice-inspired movement, encounters, and combat. The game also features a 30+ hour campaign and endless endgame challenges. If you watched our Newsflash in this episode, and we hope you did, you already got the broad picture of Wildgate. In this PvPvE multiplayer shooter, crews of 4 prospectors navigate a procedurally generated space map, while competing to extract valuable artifacts or become the last crew standing. Hearts of Iron 4 is the flagship of the series, letting players command any nation during World War II. Core gameplay involves intricate planning, from industry to diplomacy and war. Its multiplayer allows for up to 32 players in one session. And finally, if that was all way too serious, we got Goat Simulator 3, a hilarious, physics-based open-world sandbox where players control customizable goats, wreak havoc across the island of San Angora in totally unrealistic mayhem. It supports up to 4 players, local or online co-op, and just received its Badlands Ferry Road update. All these games are free to play until November 24th. But wait, there's more. Until November 24th, you can also grab Vermintide 2 for free on Steam and keep it forever. So you get to try out the River Rake mission yourself. See, it pays off to stay until the end. But that's it for this week. We wish you a ton of fun in co-op with your favorite people once you have decided what to play this weekend, and we'll see you again in the next one.